Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I'm bringing you the final update video of this week for VEDA2, and that is going to be my series update so far. So we're going to look at series, they are books, that I have finished, that I'm up to date with, and that I am still partway through. So let's get going. So the first series that I finished this year was the Tea Dragon Society series. I'll put like the first book on the screen for you to see if I haven't got it to hand. I love this series. It was very cute. It's a nice little graphic novel series. It's adorable. Obviously they're like little tea dragons. They're so cute. So yeah, that was my first series. There isn't much to really say about this series because it's literally just like a graphic novel about tea dragons. But I guess there are like some really cute moments touching like, I don't know, like found family and stuff, which is quite adorable. So definitely check that out if you want like a nice cozy read. Definitely recommend it in like January or like autumn because I feel like it's that sort of vibe. But one to definitely check out. Then the next series I finished was The Strange Case of the Alchemist Daughter trilogy. I loved this. This was so good. I mean, the middle book is like bloody massive. It's like 700 or 800 pages long, and it's great. We're following obviously a group of girls who are all the daughters of people from the Alchemical Society, like the daughter of Dr. Jekyll and the daughter of Hyde and Frankenstein and all sorts of weird and wonderful people that are part of this strange society. I will say that the third book kind of fell down a little bit for me. I don't think it was as good towards the end, but I did still love all of the books. I thought they were so good. They don't even feel very YA, like they're not young YA, but they're good ones to sink your teeth into. The characters are phenomenal. We cover all sorts of topics with these characters. Mary is the first character we meet, and then she discovers that she has got a sister after her mother's death who is the other daughter of her father, but obviously one is from Jekyll and one is from Hyde, which is very interesting. And then from there they kind of discover other daughters who are from these madmen and go on all sorts of adventures trying to bring them down, because obviously they are experimenting on people and that is bad and wrong. So I really enjoyed this series. I enjoyed where it went. I liked the found family aspect as well. Like, that was so good and so nice. And yeah, I definitely recommend it, even if you're not really a big YA reader. If you like YA to an extent, then I think you'll probably enjoy this. It's got like a mystery element to it, and it has got bits of action, obviously not necessarily full of blood and gore action like you would in adult books, but it's still pretty good and still pretty fast paced, so I really enjoyed it. I've also managed to finally finish the Renegade Trilogy by Marissa Meyer. I read the Renegades way back when, and I managed to get all three of them from my library audibly, and they were so good. Like, the narrator as well for these books is in The Name of All Things, I think, by Jen Lyons. It's the same narrator, and I was very surprised when I heard that, but it was still pretty good, to be fair. But yeah, Renegades is following two different perspectives. One is Nova, who is an anarchist, which is basically the bad guy, and then you've got Adrian, who is a renegade, so superhero-esque, and Nova infiltrates the renegades to try and basically destroy them from the inside, as you would if you were an anarchist. And there's loads of twists and turns in this book. There's obviously a bit of romance, it is YA, and it's quite nice romance, I think, because you're watching these characters like battle with why they should or shouldn't be in love with this person, and there's a lot of toing and froing, and there's a lot of doubt in both characters and a lot of the characters throughout this series. And I did not realise it would end how it ended, if I'm honest. There's basically something that is developed within this book basically to use on the anarchists, and obviously it doesn't go to plan, but I did not realise that it would go the way it went, really, and I'm quite impressed with how it went. I'm quite happy it ended the way it did, so I really enjoyed this series. Also, there's a twist at the end of the Renegades that I've just remembered that kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I can't really say much because it's a spoiler, but like there's a character that you follow throughout the whole thing, and then you finally get like a twist of who they are, and oh my gosh, I'm just like, I wish everyone had found that out. but they didn't. So I kind of want there to be like a novella where they find out or something. I don't know, but yeah. Meh. And then the final series that I managed to finish so far this year is, I'm holding up the sequel, but this is The Warrior by Stephen Orion. This is the second book in the Coward duology, and I love this series. So this is the special edition from the Broken Binding. Hint, we still have got 1 day left of the giveaway for this on my channel. If you want to check it out, I'll link the video up here for you. Go and enter. If you're a subscriber, you're cool, but yeah, go comment and all sorts on that video just to get some entries in, because these are so pretty. But yeah, I finished this series as well. Loved this. Both books are quest based, which is one of my favourite things to read about, if I'm completely honest. In the first book we meet Calcressia, who is a hero. He's come back from the frozen north after saving his continent, and 10 years later he's called on by the king to go back to the frozen north because something similar is happening yet again. So it's good, it's great. The second book I gave 5 stars, the first book I gave 4. I don't know, I just felt like I was more emotionally attached in the second book than the first book, but that's okay. Love this series, and I've met Stephen and he is a wonderful human being, so I cannot wait to see what he brings out next. I'm very excited. So yeah, there's that. So currently I think there is only one series that I'm actually up to date on now that I've been sent the final books of 2 of the series, and that is the House of Earth and Blood series, trilogy, whatever it's going to be, by Sarah J Maas. I have read both books. This one was a 5-star. Like, this made me feel things and I absolutely loved it. The second one was 4. I'm interested where it goes, but maybe I would have loved it more if I'd read, you know, ACOTAR and Throne of Glass and stuff. I just haven't yet. So I need to crack on with that before the next one comes out, because I feel as though everyone's got these like theory videos where they're all linked, and I don't want to be spoiled that they're all linked if I haven't read the rest of the books, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm up to date. I'm not too sure where this series is going to go, if I'm honest, because I don't know. I didn't enjoy Bryson Hunt as much in the second book as I did in this book. Maybe it'll get better. I don't know. But yeah, this is the only series that I'm aware of that I'm currently up to date on. So that's good. And then the series that I'm going to talk about now are literally just ones that I have read this year. There are probably many more series that I'm in the middle of that I just haven't picked up books, but I'm only going to talk about the ones that I've actually read books from this year, because otherwise we would literally be here all day. So the first one is Rune of Kings. I'm reading this with the It's All About Fantasy book club with my co-hosts Lisa and Kate. The Twitter is linked down below. Make sure you go check it out. We are on book 3 of this, so I do plan on finishing this series this year, which is actually quite exciting because, you know, I'd love to actually finish this series. That would be great. And cross another one off the list. So loving this series. I'm not too sure where the third book is going to go, because apparently the first 2, so this one and The Name of All Things, are basically prequels, because they are obviously back in time. So this one we kind of get the whole of Kieran's life, and then the next one is kind of what's happening with a range of other characters while Kieran is going through this. So I'm very interested to see where it all comes together in the next book. We'll see. We'll see if we enjoy it. This one, 5 stars. The sequel, 4. Hoping that Memory of Souls I'm gonna connect with and love more like I did with this one, but we shall see. So there's that one. We then have the Throne of Glass series, which I spoke about in a video already gone up this week. My currently reading video about where I'm at with this series. So I have not picked up the books for a little while, but I am still partway through the series. I am on Queen of Shadows, which means I've got 3 left after it, so that's quite interesting. I'll have 3 books left of that, and they're all pretty big books, which is a little bit scary. Obviously this one's like a normal size YA book, and then they just get bigger the further you get into the series. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying where the twists and turns are taking us. There are like name changes partway through this series, which is now confusing the heck out of me, but we'll get over it. We'll carry on. It'll be fine. So yeah, I need to crack on and finish this series, to be fair. But I am enjoying it so far. It's a nice YA thing to read, if that makes sense. Then we have this. I only have the Exile to read, and then I can mark this series as completely up to date, because the third full book in this series, because this is the sequel, the second book, comes out later this year, I think. So I'm now almost fully up to date with this series, which is a load of fun, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. I love this series. I speak about Ryan all the time. This one is full of dragons and more dragons and fighting and action and all sorts of fun things. This series is so fast paced. Like, I love it. It's so good. The audiobooks especially are fantastic if you like that route. It's so good. So good. So definitely check it out. Indie author as well. I don't know what more you could ask for. I love this series. One more small novella and then I can change it, but I haven't read it at the time of this video, so I'm not going to cheat and put it on up to date, because I'm just not yet. I will be probably after this week, so that's pretty cool. I'm holding up the third book in this series because I don't have the first two to hand, but this is the third book that I'm currently reading. This is the Arc. I will be up to date with this series. I will have finished this series because it's only going to be a trilogy, which is this one. This is the third and final book by the end of August, which is going to be so good. This series is already 100% 5 stars for me so far that I've read. I don't really think it's going to change much with this one, but we shall see. And yeah, I am loving this series. The magic system in this book is phenomenal. I say this every time. I feel like it's really original. The idea that it is thread weaving, so if you've got blue eyes you can thread weave with like air, green eyes you can thread weave with earth, and if you've got brown eyes you're achromatic, which means you are normal and you get your eyes tested at birth, and whatever colour your eyes means like what you do basically with your life, which is pretty cool. And I love this series. The characters, again, another author who lets his characters suffer, which I actually really enjoy, and I like seeing where they're suffering, so love this series. Again, another indie series, so if you want to check it out, make sure you do, because it is so blinking good. And another, and actually I think, yeah, the rest of these books I'm going to talk about, I've got another 2 series, are all indie. So we have got Cold from the North by D.W. Ross. I have literally just received my arc of The Fury of Fate by him, which means I'm no longer up to date on his series. I've got the third and final book to read, which means very soon I will have finished this series as well. This is his first series. I absolutely love it. I love our characters. We're following Ogolf, who basically has to run away from his village with as many people as will leave to escape an oncoming horde who are taking over his continent, and they travel down south to try and get people to team up and come together and basically face off this evil that is coming to kill them all, because this evil wants to take over the continent and reshape it in their own image, because of course they do. Makes so much sense. But yeah, this series as well is fantastic. I love it. I cannot wait to be finished with it, because I feel like the third book is going to be where it's completely at. I say this every time. The second book is where Ross really comes into his writing, and he's so good. This one you can kind of tell it's his first book, and he hasn't really settled into how he wants to write just yet. The second book takes it up an octave, and I'm sure that the third and final book is just going to be there. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to see what else he comes out with as well. So let's get this series finished. And then the final book that I want to talk about is I don't really know what the whole series is called, but it's In the Orbit of Sirens. So I've read the first book, I read it audibly, gave it 3 stars. It was good, but I didn't love it. And I have got the sequel on Audible as well. I was very kindly sent it by the author, which is amazing. Thank you very much. And I keep planning to read it this month. I don't know if it's going to happen currently where we're at, because I've got so many indie books to read already that I'm not sure. So if it's going to fit, because I still need to read The Memory of Souls as well before the live show that will happen at the end of this month or the start of next. So we shall see, but I am very excited. I think that the next book is just going to take it up for me, and I think it's just going to get better and better, and that is what I adore. So I'm excited. So there is my series update. Like I said, I haven't really included every single series that I've ever started, because I've read like the novella of A Touch of Light, or the novella to it by Diego Abdullah, which is A Prelude of Ashes, but I haven't read more of it, if that makes sense. So I try not to talk about any series that I haven't read more of the first one, or I haven't got plans to read the sequel imminently, because otherwise we'd be here for hours. But we'll talk about that more at the end of the year, because I just wanted to keep this like shorter and sweeter, so that was the plan. So there you go, there are my series, up to date, finished and started. At the end of the year we'll also go through the series that I've DNF'd, which will be fun. Keeping a track already. But there you go, that is all for today's video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. It really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a series that you have completed this year. If you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me an animal emoji. I haven't used that one yet. It doesn't correlate with anything, but an animal emoji would be cool. And if you want to see more from me, please consider subscribing down below and ring that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I am uploading every single day in the month of August. The VEDA2 playlist is linked down below, so check it out if you've missed anything. But after the month of August, in September, I will go back to uploading on a Wednesday and on a Sunday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon, tomorrow actually, for another video. Bye.